Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to install System Center Service Manager Data Warehouse 2019 step by step full. So as we discussed in last video, we have installed and configured the System Center Service Manager management server and self-service portal, where we have installed all the prerequisites like SQL Server and other services, and then we have installed the um, service manager management server and the self-service portal. And in this video we are going to focus on installing data warehouse, which require a dedicated server. You cannot install the system center service manager management server and data warehouse on the same server. In this video we are going to do the installation for data warehouse server. So this is my demo environment where I having three servers. So first two servers you can see Active Directory and DNS server and Service Manager server, which having management server and self-service portal. So in last video we have used these two servers, and this is the additional server where we are going to deploy data warehouse management server in this video. So let's verify first server. So first server is Active Directory and DNS server. You can see the name Win2K19 DC01. So this is my domain controller and DNS server, and my domain name is labsandson.com. So here is it. You can see the Active Directory and DNS is installed on this machine, Win2K19 DC01, and my domain name is labsandson.com. And the second server is a Service Manager 2019 management and self-service portal. So if I go here, in last video we have installed Service Manager on this machine. So let me log in. So this is our Service Manager. So if I go to administration, you can see here register with Service Manager data warehouse. So we don't have any data warehouse server ready for now, so I'm going to create a data warehouse server basically and install everything which is required, and then we are going to register that server with the Service Manager management server. So this is management server. Also we have installed the self-service portal on this machine. So this is the ready server which we have done in last video. So this is the last server which we have in this demo, and I'm going to install data warehouse management server on this machine. So this is brand new machine where I have just uh, renamed this machine and join in my domain and configure the IP address. So you can see here, if I go to local server, you can see Win2K19 SM DW, and my domain name is labsensor.com, and I have joined this machine in domain. So this is fresh installed machine. So now let's begin step by step. So this is installation of System Center Service Manager 2019 data warehouse step by step. So the first requirement, you need a SQL Server database to where your data basically where the Service Manager database is going to be saved. So I'm going to install the SQL Server 2017 with these three features: database engine, full text and semantic extraction search, and analysis services. So I have already mounted the installation media, you can see here. So I'm going to run this installation media, Microsoft SQL Server 2017. Go to installation and click on install new standalone installation. So now if you have existing SQL Server, you can use it. If you don't have, then you require a SQL Server to be installed and ready before you jump into the installation for data warehouse. So since this is demo, I'm going to install in evaluation mode. Click next. I accept the license term. Click next, and then check for the updates. So everything passed. We have a warning for the firewall which we can ignore. Click next, and now on this page we need to select database engine, full text, and analysis. So reporting services is not part of this setup, so I have already downloaded those things which I need. Like I have downloaded the reporting services, I have downloaded SQL Server Management Studio, and and this object which is analysis management object also. So you need these things, so keep it ready. So we have selected all three features which is required. Click next. and now leave the instance name default, click next. And here I'm going to type my service account name, SCM admin, and this is required labs hands on SCSM admin, and then password for this account. For analysis services also. So now I'm going to grant permission for maintenance, click next. And now I'm going to add my current user, which is SCSM admin, as a authentication to have a rights, and also for the analysis services I'm going to use my current account, which is SCSM admin. So click next, and now we are ready to proceed with the installation. So I'm going to hit on install button, which will begin the installation for the SQL Server 2017. And now since this installation is running, we can go ahead and install Microsoft .NET Framework 3.5. So on a server manager, click on manage, add role and features, click next, and go on a feature page, and then we need to expand 3.5, and just need to select this .NET 3. Framework 3.5 feature, click next, and click on install. So this will install the .NET Framework 3.5. So wait for the installation to be finished. Once the installation is finished, we will proceed further with the installation of SQL Server Management Studio and following with the reporting services. So I'm going to pause the recording. Once this is the installation is done, I will resume from there. So now SQL Server 2017 installation is done. We can go ahead and close this, and also we can close this SQL Server Installation Center. And now we can go ahead and run Management Studio setup for the SQL Server. And this is basically straightforward. Just need to click on install. It will install the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, and I'm installing the latest release, which is 18.6 for the Management Studio. So going to pause the recording once again, since this installation is going to take some time. I will resume once the installation is done. So now Management Studio installation done. We can proceed with the installation for the. So now .NET 3.5 installation is completed, and also SQL Server Management Studio completed. So we can close this, and now we can go ahead and delete this, and now finally we can go and run on the step 3, which is kind of prerequisite going to be finished. So reporting services and analysis management object, two things are left, and then we will go ahead and reboot the server. So click on install, and I'm going to install it in evaluation mode. Now run this management object, analysis management object basically. So wait for the installation for the reporting services finish, and this is my SCSM setup. So I'm going to extract it in my C drive and get it ready. Now click on this. So I'm going to extract this system center setup in C drive. So just click on extract. Now you can see the reporting services installation is completed. So we can go ahead, and once the server is rebooted, we will go ahead and reconfigure this reporting services. So finish, and I can go ahead and delete reporting services. SCSM setup we can delete. This I guess also we can delete. And now once this analysis management object setup is completed, we will reboot the server and proceed with the installation for the System Center Service Manager Data Warehouse 2019. So waiting for this installation to be finished. So now this is also finished. Click on finish button and go ahead and reboot the server now. So all the prerequisite installation from step 1 to step 4 is completed. Now the server is rebooting. Press Ctrl or Del and log into the server now. And now the first thing we need to configure the reporting services. So I'm going to configure the reporting services first. So when you click on start, you will see report server configuration manager. So this is my server name and this is the instance for the reporting service. Click OK. And now you need to go on service account. So I'm going to run this reporting service instance with the service account. So dapps hands on SCSM admin, which is our service account. So if you having deploying this for production, you can use different accounts, but since this is a demo environment, I am going to use only one service account everywhere in a system center service manager. So click on apply. So this will apply the services and restart the service. So the task completed successfully. Now go to web service URL. I'm going to call it SCSM report server and click apply now. So wait for this service to be restarted. You can say the virtual directory is created and assigned, and the task is completed successfully. Good. And now final thing, we need to create a database. So you can see we don't have any database, so I'm going to create the database. So create a new report server database, click next, and this is our server name where we are going to create the database. I'm going to use the service account. Test is succeeded, click next, and you can give the name. So I'm going to give SCSMDW report server report DB, you can say, and click next. And now leave the service account. This is going to use service credential and click next. Now this is going to validate and create the database, and meanwhile we can go ahead and open the SQL Server Management Studio to just verify what we have there. So now you can see the task completed. So report service is restarted. So now we can go ahead and click on exit. So now let's wait for SQL Server Management Studio to open. So since this is first time, it's going to take some time, and now I can go ahead and run the setup for Service Manager. And here you can see under the installed we have Service Manager Data Warehouse Management Server. So I'm going to click on it. I am going to type my organization name, labs hands on, and I'm going to install in evaluation mode. So 180 days trial. I accept the license term, click next, and just connect on the SQL Server Management Studio to verify the databases. So you can see we got reporting services database created, which we have just created through the report server configuration manager. So we are good from here. And now on the installation location, leave the default, click next, and also you can see the all system check is passed successfully. We can go ahead and click next. And now we need to provide the staging, configuration, repository, and data mart. So I'm going to provide everything one by one. So I'm just going to type my SQL server, which is itself a local server. The name of the server SMDW, and when you click here, it's going to give you the DB name. You can see this is the database name for the staging and configuration, and if you need you can create the database name, but the automatic database name is also very logical, so we can keep it also. You can see repository database, and for the data mart also I'm going to use the same SMDW, and this is warning related to this collection for the SQL server, so we can ignore it and click next. Now I'm not going to use this OM and for the configuration manager and the operations manager, so I'm going to uncheck both, click next, and this is going to be our database, our management group, so I'm going to call it LHO, labs and so on, and the management group administrator. So I'm going to give SCSM administrator account as a administrator rights on this ABAP management group. So click next. Now this is going to check our reporting services for the data warehouse. So it's going to check the URL and the instance and then URL. So it should take few less than 1 minute, I guess. So wait for the installation validation to be succeeded, and then we will proceed for the next. So now you can see as the website is validated. So click next, and I'm going to use the service account here. So SCSM admin and password for my service account, and give it test. So this is for service manager service, and next we will need to configure the reporting account. So I'm going to use the same SCSM admin, and if you want to use the different accounts, then definitely you can use. So click next, and now this is going to create the analysis service cube. So go ahead and just wait for a few seconds. So it's going to validate few things at the backend. Now you can see the instance is default, and you can see the database name which is going to be created. Click next, and now you need to provide the analysis service credentials. So I'm going to use the same, and if you're doing for production, if you need, you can set the different accounts. So SCSM admin, maybe type the wrong password. Yeah, so you can see this succeeded. Click next, and now this is the installation summary what we are going to be performed during this installation. So this is giving all the information about the wizard which we have gone through. So now click on install button. So this will start the installation, and it will create all the database which we have selected during the setup. And once the installation is done, we will verify the database is created and everything is good, and then we will proceed with the last step, which is final step in this video: register service manager management server with the data warehouse. So we already have management server in place which we have installed in last video. I'm going to register this server in with the data warehouse. So just wait for the installation to be finished. So this is going to take around 5 to 10 minutes to get the installation done. So I'm going to pause the recording, and once the installation is done, I will resume from there. Now you can see this is on creating database task. So we will get few database, I guess. Yeah, you can see the database is now created. So this is good. So I'm going to pause the recording, and once the installation is finished, we will resume from there. So now this is installation is completed, and you can go ahead and save the backup encryption backup and restore file. So I'm going to save it in my C drive. So backup the encryption key. It's going to save your like critical information related to SCSM. So I'm going to run as service account and other information. So I'm going to save it as SCSM backup keys, and I'm going to call it backup.bin. Open, and just go ahead and type your password to encrypt the file and finish. So now you can see the backup file is created here. So this is good, and now you can see all the database is also created, and now we are on final step to register this server with the service manager management server. So I'm on the service manager console, and going to click from the administration, going to click register with the service manager data warehouse. Click next, and I'm going to type my data warehouse server name. So SMDW, and test the connection. So if everything goes well, it will show you the connection passed successfully. So click on next, and you need to provide the credentials. So I'm going to use the run as administrator account which we have already configured. So click next. During the installation, you need to type the password for the service account. Click OK, and now just click on create. So now password invalid. Let's try one more time. So going to use this. Okay, I think need to cancel this and try one more time. Click next. Win2k19 smdw, test the connection. Click next, and now type the password for the service account. Click OK, and now click on create. So now you will see this is now progress bar is running. So soon it will configuration. You can see now the report deployment process is in progress. So this is good, and also you can see here the data warehouse section is up here now. So if I go ahead, you can see the data warehouse registration succeeded. Click on close, and now you can see the data warehouse, analysis, library, cube, everything is there. Also you can go ahead, you can see what we have registered, and you can see the management pack and the security things also, like run as administrator account. You can see what type what is like run as administrator account we have configured. So this is how we can install and configure System Center Service Manager Data Warehouse Manager Server. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post to me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.